So here in this Rankine cycle, so this is the process TS diagram. Okay. So here in this, see this working fluid is going from one device to another device. So it is a flow process. Okay. And a steady state. So how will you find out the energy and as well as the energy interaction? Energy interaction means work and as well as the heat interaction. Okay, only by applying the steady flow energy equation. Okay, so we will apply the steady flow energy equation at different devices and we will find out how the energy interactions are happening there. See, what is the steady flow energy equation? First of all, the steady flow energy equation is m dot into h plus h1 plus v1 square by 2 plus g z1 plus q dot equal to m dot into h2 plus v2 square divided by 2 plus g z2 plus w dot. You remember or forgot? Okay, in the thermodynamics. Okay, but here in this case, we always assume that the kinetic energy. Where is the kinetic energy portion? This is the kinetic energy. So, and where is the potential energy? This is the potential energy. Okay, these two are neglected. These two are neglected. Here also it is neglected. Here also it is neglected. Then finally it will become m dot into h1 plus q dot equal to m dot into h2 plus w dot. This can be written again as a h1 plus q. Actually, whenever I write here, it should be small q, where small q equal to q dot by m dot. Okay, equal to h2 plus small w, where small w equal to capital W by q dot. Actually, this is the way we need to write, but in the textbook they generally use the capital Q only instead of small q. So here also I will write q instead of small q. I will write q. Whenever I write q and in terms of the small h, okay, so what is my unit here? Q actually whatever unit h carries, that is the unit. So here q. What is the q here? Actually q dot is a kilojoule per second, okay, divided by m dot. M dot is a kg divided by second. Second will be cancelled, so kilojoule per kg. Okay, that is how the q dot here. The same dimension, same unit for the h also here. Understood? So here, whenever I write capital Q equal to small q equal to q dot by m dot, what is the unit here? The unit is a kilojoule per kg, which is a unit of the h here. Understood? Okay. So this is just to recap you. But while calculating for that, I may not be writing all these things again. Okay. So here I will apply the steady state energy equation one by one. So first we will start with the boiler. First we will start with the boiler. So for the boiler, let's assume this is the boiler B. See, for the boiler, see this is the boiler. See, this is the input, this is the output. What is the input here? From this, where is the input? This 4 is the input and 1 is the output. Okay. So here this is the 1 and this is the 4 here. And Q is coming inside Q1. Whenever Q is coming inside, it is a positive. Okay. So according to our formula, what is the equation here? H1 plus Q1 equal to H2 plus is there any W? No W. Okay. So from this Q1 equal to what is the formula? H2 minus H1. Okay. Q1 how to calculate? H2 minus H1. What is the unit? Kilojoule per kg. Kilojoule per kg. Right. The same way if I take the turbine. Turbine, okay. This is the turbine symbol, this is the output and this is the input. This is input and this is the output, right? Which is the input? 1, output is 2 here. Okay, and in between here WT also coming. WT also coming outside. WT is done by the system. So positive. So by applying this, what is the input? H1 plus Q, is there any Q interaction here? There is no Q, equal to H2 plus WT. So from this, WT equal to H1 minus H2. Okay, again, what is the unit? Kilojoule per kg. And what is the next one? Condenser. In the condenser, again, what is the input, what is the output? See here, input is this, what is that? 2. Okay, and the output is 3. And energy is going out of this. How much? Q2. So here, input H2 plus Q2 is going out, so it will be minus of Q2. Okay, so it will be minus Q2. Why? Because energy is going out of the system. So minus Q2 equal to H3. Then Q2 equal to H2 minus H3. Right? H2 minus H3 units are same. And after that, pump. For the pump, what is happening for the pump? Let's assume this is the pump. What is the input? Input is 3 and output is 4, and W is given to the system. So whenever W is given to the system, it is a negative. What is our formula? H3 plus Q is nothing, is their input, equal to H4 minus WP. Why minus? W is negative. Okay, always Q is input, W is coming on the output, but we will change the negative positive based on the whether the work is done by the system or done on the system. Okay, so from here I can write WP equal to H4 minus H3. This is the value. Okay, so this is how we need to calculate all the values. And after calculating this, what is the efficiency? Okay, efficiency mu, it is called as a Rankine efficiency because we are going to substitute based on this, equal to W net divided by Q1, that equal to WT minus WP divided by Q1. Okay, I will write here, otherwise mu Rankine equal to WT. Here this is the WT. H1 minus H2, okay, minus WP. Where is the WP? This is the WP. H4 minus H3 whole divided by Q1. Where is the Q1? This one. Q1. Where Q1 is this is not sorry, this is a 4, right? Not 2. Okay, this is a 4. This is the 4. This is the 4. Sorry, this is the, what is the input? Sorry, this is the 1. Input is 4, right here. Input is 4. So H1 minus H4. Okay. So H1 minus H4. Okay. This is the efficiency. So here, where is the H1? This is H1. Where is H2? This is H2. Where is H3? This is H3. Where is H4? This is H4. Okay. By simply knowing the enthalpy at different stages, you can easily find out the work input and as well as work output, and then Q input and the efficiency of the cycle. Okay. So here in this case, that is why we should know how to identify the enthalpy of the stream at different values. That is why in the basic topic, when I am introducing the basics, I spent enough time there to understand how to identify the these properties from the stream table. Okay, that is very much important. And here one more thing here, I need to emphasize. What is that? Here, why This Rankine cycle is much more better than other cycle like Brayton cycle, that is a gas cycle, okay, gas power cycle. Why Rankine cycle is better? Why Rankine cycle is better? Because in the Rankine cycle WT is much more greater than the WP. Do you agree that? Yes, we will agree. Okay, what is the meaning of that? See here, for example, in a flow process, there are two TDS equations, right? There are two TDS equations. What are those two TDS? I will write here. Or where is the space? I will write here. Okay. See here, there are two TDS equations. One is TDS equal to du plus PdV. Okay, this is the first TDS equation. Next is TDS equal to dH minus V dP. What is V? This is the specific volume, small v. So this is for the flow process, second TDS equation. If you take this second TDS equation and if you apply this to the pump, if I apply this to the pump, okay, if I apply this pump, what happened in the pump? This is a constant pressure process. Whenever it is a constant pressure process, this term will become 0. Then TDS equal to dH. Okay, if I write this 3 to 4, okay, dH equal to integral TDS. Okay, 3 to 4. Sorry. In the pump, see here. In the pump, not P equal to ds equal to 0. Why? Because it is isentropic process, so this will become 0. That means dH equal to VdP. So if I integrate this 3 to 4, here also integrate will be 3 to 4. Okay, then what happened? H3. Okay, then H4 minus H3. H4 minus H3 is WP equal to what will happen? V into P4 minus P3. Okay, P4 minus P3. See here, why I assumed V equal to constant? See, here at the process 3, this is for the process 3 to 4. Pump means it is a process of 3 to 4. See, here at this position, what is happening? The saturated liquid is being compressed. Okay, so we assumed here in the steady flow energy equation, we assumed that the fluid is whatever working fluid we have taken, it is incompressible. Incompressible means what is the meaning of that? There is not much change in the density or the volume here. Okay, of course there is a change in the volume, but not much appreciable change in the density. Even volume also very little bit. Okay, so here that is why I have taken the V equal to constant. When V equal to constant, then it will become P4 minus P3. What is the P4 here? What is the P4? P4 is this, from here to here. Here, if I say that P4 equal to P1, do you believe? Yes, because this P4 equal to P1, because this entire line is a constant pressure line. If I say that P3 equal to P2, do you agree that? Yes, because this entire line is a constant temperature and as well as the pressure. Why? Because it is a phase change. In the same way, from the line process 4 to the 1, entire line is a constant pressure line. Understood? So that means here, this is the pressure, let's assume P1, and this is the pressure P2. If I know this pressure P1 and pressure P2, and if I know the specific volume at point 3, then I can find out the pump, pump work here. Why? Because here for the liquid there is not much change in the volume. Okay, there is not much change in the volume here. I cannot find out like this. But whereas, can I use the same technique for the turbine also? For turbine also, can I write, Wt equal to V, actually this I will write V3, otherwise V3. So can I write like V1 into, P1, P4 minus P3? Can I write like this? I cannot write like this. Why? Because here the specific volume for the steam is very much, changing. For example, at a 1.1 it is something, and at a 0.2 it will be much more difference. Okay, it is a changing, so I cannot assume that V is constant so that I can integrate. Okay, and that is one point. The next important point is, Vf is much more less than the Vg. That is the point we need to remember. This is the point. What is that? Vf is much more less than the Vg. Even you go back and open the steam table, you take the same temperature and see what is the Vf and Vj for the same conditions. What is happening? Here Vf is very small compared to Vg. It is very much, it makes common sense. What is that? For example, if I take the glass of water in the room, let's assume this is the room, I will take a glass of water. How much it will occupy? Let's take 1 liter water. Okay, only 1 liter, this much it will occupy. When I start heating that, steam will produce and it will occupy the entire room. That will become its volume. Understood? That means in the steam stage always the volume is very much higher compared to the liquid stage. So what is the meaning of that? That means, what is the meaning of that? That means here, and here, because of that, what is happening? The Wp value, since this value is very small, okay, then the Wp value is very small compared to the Wt. Okay, see, that is why the W net is more here. Okay, the W net is more. See here, that is the advantage of two phases. Now you might be wondering why it is converted in from liquid phase to steam, and again from steam to the liquid. So much of halla is happening in the cycle, because this is the main reason. What is that? When you pump the liquid, very less amount of work is required, but whereas when you are producing the steam and the steam is impinging on the turbine, you are producing huge amount of work. Okay, so overall net our output is very high here. Okay, so that is why this steam power cycle or steam power plant become very famous. From the hundreds of years, we are still using this steam power plant. Why? Because it is leaking also not so dangerous. Leaking is not dangerous compared to other, like if you use some other material like mercury or any other. So mercury is very poisonous and then hazardous. But whereas water, it is even if it is a leak happen, nothing. There is no damage to the environment. Okay, and very not expensive. You can easily get this. You can whenever there is a leakage, you can easily refill this. Okay, so that is why the Rankine cycle with a steam power plant is very famous. This is a TS diagram. So far we have drawn the PV and HS diagram. So let's see that quickly. How will you draw the PV diagram? This is the P, this is the V. What is the it would be like this. Actually there is a much more like this. Other side is a more steep like this. Okay, so here PV diagram. So here PV diagram, what is the 1-2 process? 1-2 process is an isentropic process. First, since a pressure axis is there, first I will identify the 4-1. 4-1 is let's assume 4-1 is going up to here. Okay, 4-1, because see, if it is only up to here, saturated steam state, but it will be here, but it is going beyond that, so it is coming here. Okay, how is the isentropic line on the PV diagram? Okay, so can you recollect? This would be the isentropic line. So this is the 4, this is the 1. Okay, this is the what is the 2 here compared to this. After that again constant pressure line up to where? Constant pressure line up to this point. Okay, so this is a 0.3. Again after that there is a compression, isentropic compression from 3 to 4. Okay, this is the way you need to draw here. These two are horizontal constant pressure lines, and these two are S equal to C, and again this is also S equal to C. How is the HS diagram? This is the H, this is the S. Okay, how is the dome? First, the dome will be something like this. Okay, it will be something shaping like this, and the critical point is here, CP. So here, first we will identify the S. Why? Because it is easy, straight line only. So first we will identify from the 1. So let's assume 1 is here and it is coming like this. Okay, 2 here. Okay, 2 is up to here. 2. What is this? This is the 1. This is a S equal to C. 1 to 2. After that constant pressure line. So here constant pressure lines are like this, right? Constant pressure lines are like this. So from here to here it is coming up to here. Okay, this is a 0.3. And again after that how it is going? It is straight line. Again it is a straight line up to 0.4. This is a 0.4, and again from here it is a constant pressure line, P equal to C here, and this is also P equal to C here. Okay, and whereas this is S equal to C, this is S equal to C. So this is how it will be represented. Okay, in the HS diagram. So out of this, you need to remember TS diagram. Okay, because in the examination, they never ask you like solve this below question by using the Mollier diagram, or solve this below question by using the PV diagram. They say that what is the answer. Okay, you just remember this, and then it is very easy to find out from this. But whereas in the ESC mains examination, if they specifically ask you to represent this particular processes on the Mollier diagram, then you need to know this. Sometimes they ask this. Why? Because in the regeneration and the reheat, drawing the Mollier diagram is a bit difficult than the TS diagram. So sometimes they will specifically emphasize on that. Okay.